Hey guys, it's Faces Sims, and we are back with more Cupid Parasite, continuing Shelby's route. And we're still at Diamor Paradis. Oh, now it's a few days later, but you know, whatever. We're back here with trying to hunt down Lobsterman. Listen! Come on. Anyway. And a few days later, Shelby and I returned to Diamor Paradis for another inspection. Oh, right, because we were like, oh, we should go, maybe we can disguise ourselves, and their parents showed up and then pieced out. And it was like, I thought we were going to ask them to go investigate. We revisited areas we'd missed during our honeymoon and ventured to the cape at the edge of the island. Somewhere in the ocean lie my parents' temples. Again, I'm wondering, like, if because the temples have something to do with it? Are they, like, absorbing power, like something, you know what I mean? I don't know. As we looked out at the sea, we sighed. Exploring the island like this makes me realize just how many positives it has. The arrangement of facilities is meticulously planned. They've utilized their experiences from managing shops, restaurants, and cafes. They know where to position them for max effect. They've honed customer behavior into a science, designing everything based on extensive data. Here's the thing. See, I feel like, you know, when Eli came and was like, hey, I want to buy you out, blah, blah, blah. Shelby could have been like, yeah, no, I'm not interested in selling. I would have been interested in like a partnership, trying to work on something and like maybe having a joint venture if you wanted to have a Cupid Core like location here and working with you, because I think that would benefit both of us, but I'm not interested in selling my company. Like, but absolutely, if you want to come up with a proposal where it's a joint venture and we work together, you know, or we can both benefit. And that might have, like, it might not have solved the problem, but I feel like that would have benefited both parties, you know what I mean? But then what drama would we have if we thought logically like that, you know what I mean? Maybe the drama of what is the deal with the lobsters? Why is no one mentioning it but me? We're whatever they're supposed to be. Okay, I'm going with lobsters, okay? Did I read that? They've honed customer behavior into a science, designing everything based on extensive data. I don't know. It appears that all employees are given the liberty to enjoy Diamor Paradis whenever they wish, among other benefits. Interesting. I hadn't considered that angle. I've failed in my attempts to understand others' viewpoints. I've been too focused on my own perspective. That's probably why Eli Omar got the better of me. He's undeniably an adept businessman. Shelby, you're a workaholic, but our company is full of passionate individuals. You're not alone. People's minds can change on a daily basis. That applies to both work and love. You're right. People's thoughts can shift every day. Shelby looked at me, a soft smile on his face. Had I not met you, I would have never considered marriage. Me too. Really? Yeah, if I hadn't fallen in love with you, I probably would have... I halted, realizing I was about to mention returning to Celestia. I wasn't sure he would believe me. As I looked down, I felt Shelby smile. I mean, he met your parents like 2 days ago, so... Please say it. But you might not believe me. It's about me being Cupid. I promise I won't dismiss what you say about being Cupid anymore. He's like, I met your fucking parents, so unless you're all in on this bamboozlement, gotta go with it must be true. I can't guarantee that I'll understand everything, but I trust you're not the type to lie without reason. I believe in you, so believe in me, too. Shelby... Tell me, what would you have done if you didn't marry me? He gently asked me, so I hesitantly responded. If I didn't marry you, Shelby, I likely would have returned to Celestia. I did my best to explain to Shelby why I had left Celestia. I discussed how for centuries I tirelessly shot my Cupid's arrow. Yet the rate of marriages continued to decline. The gods saw this as an issue in need of resolution. Then I stumbled upon Cupid Core, which Shelby had established. That discovery shocked me. And it was the first time I questioned whether matchmaking really required divine intervention. That led to a massive argument with my father. He resisted the innovative methods humans had made for matchmaking. I felt a need to prove that humans could effectively handle it too. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Cupid's definitely shirking their duties because, like, hello, why aren't all the rest of us happy and in love? Hello, bitch! What, I gotta go on fucking No, I don't fucking think so. I'm not going on dating sites. Where the hell is my magic divine being who's gonna shoot me with a magical arrow and shoot some hot guy with a magical arrow? Well, actually, technically, they've done that with all my 2D boyfriends, so it's probably like, you can't handle a real one because you got too much of a fucking massive man harem in your brain, and it's like, it's true. It's true, I'm gonna have to forget math sooner or later to make room for the wings that we're gonna add to this fucking place, so... This need became my obsession, driving me towards a promotion, and consequently, I became the top bridal advisor in my second year. Being promoted to the top bridal advisor at Cupid Corps allowed me to fulfill my purpose. Had I achieved my goal, I might have returned to Celestia then. I see. So that's what happened. Let me digest this. Celestia is in the sky, right? Well, not entirely, but it's located where humans can't see. Invisible to humans. Is there some kind of optical camouflage? That would be a collusion risk, wouldn't it? Oh, a collision risk. Sorry, wait, what? Yeah, I can read. And since you're Cupid, you're older than me, right? Well, yes. But I came to the human realm right before college, so in human years I would still be 6. He's like, and in Celestia years, well, she said centuries, so, okay, let's go with that, because I don't want to date a 6-year-old, but like a woman who's like 400, cool. 6 years old. And I did witness the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad, so I'm not exactly 6 either. Can we just forget about the age thing? Right. You're still you. I won't overthink it. Yeah, let's just say yes. She came right before college, and she hasn't really aged, but now she's going to start aging. So technically right now she came right before college, which is about she's in her early 20s, right? Because, like, you go to college, like, roughly 18, 19. She'd be, like, 23, 24, maybe. So, like, 25 at the max. Okay? Right? So, let's just say that, and then because at this point she's gonna start aging, so that's, yeah, that works. I'll accept the fact that you were Cupid. Also, I would rather think that, like, well, technically, she's a couple 100 years old. You've seen history, so we'll just go with in Cupid years. That's a little less creepy and weird. But I'd like to know more about you. Could you tell me about these things? Although, I mean, to be fair, if you created an artificial life form, and it acted like whatever, like, yes, technically you created it, or in her case, she came to Earth 6 years ago, but she's got all the knowledge of a several 100-year-old being. And if you created an artificial life form and dumped, like, human knowledge, it would be, like, look at your phone, right? And Google and all the things, like, that's smarter than you are by how much it can do, and, like, you know what I mean? If you turn that into a person, you're like, it's only like 2, but it's probably gonna be able to adapt and smart, and you know what I mean? So, I mean, she's not really 6, but it's just when you say that, it's like, whoa, you're saying it and it sounds creepy and weird, even though you're like, like, think about dog years, right? My dog's 7. He's not really 7. Isn't he, like, 30-some-odd years old, technically, in human years? So, like, Anyway. Yes. Thank you. Shelby smiled at me, a look full of warmth and understanding, signaling it didn't matter whether I was Cupid or not. Well, 'cause you aren't anymore, so yeah. He was making the effort to believe in things he had once thought impossible. Even if he couldn't fully believe, it was enough for me that he was trying. At that moment, the sound of the ocean waves drew my attention, and I looked out to sea, where I noticed a gleam beneath the surface. In the distance, I spotted what looked like a white rock, perhaps the temples for my parents. See, obviously it has something to do with this island being here because it's convenient that we mentioned it. It's coming up, so... The majestic structure, paired with the stunning ocean view, took my breath away. It's beautiful. Yes. He stood beside me, wrapping his arms around my shoulders. I bet anyone who gets married here will create some wonderful memories, and they'd be grateful to owe our wedding. The marriage success rate will probably even surpass that of Cupid Core. His arm around my shoulder reminded me of a past moment. There had been a night out before we officially started dating when he embraced me similarly. What happened? Aww. We had still been an advisor and a man seeking marriage at that time, so we had used the pretext of it being a practice, of it being practice to go on a date. Good Lord. The atmosphere had been just right, and we had nearly shared a kiss, but it hadn't happened. If Shelby had been a little braver, or if I had recognized my feelings sooner, perhaps we would have kissed that night. D'Amour Parodies had the power to create such an atmosphere. That was why advisors needed to tread carefully in their matchmaking. It was important to prevent members from rushing into marriage in the heat of the moment, only to later regret it. Wow, there you go. Okay. Because, Shelby's over here man, this place could be way better than us because, they've got the magic of the environment, not just a office building you go into that maybe you meet people where it's, almost business structured. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to parties and stuff like that and you meet people, but this place has, the romantic magic with the location and everything. So you're like, ooh, that doesn't bode well. With Shelby even admitting wow, this place has all the magic and the scenery and the location and everything about it. And then she's like, well, you have to be careful. You don't want people to jump into marriage and then regret it. And it's oh, okay, is that going to be the crux of the matter, right? It's Eli's yeah, we're going to beat you. But then all the people are bespelled by the magic and the beautiful location and the romance and everything. And they're going to get caught up in the moment and make all these end up in relationships or marriages or whatever. And then be yeah, no, this was bad when the reality sets in, because even though comparatively Cupid Core looks like we are going to sit down and have a business meeting and then we're going to do all this stuff and then this paperwork and then we will go into the conference room and you will meet other people and mingle. And it's seems more business than D'Amour Parody says romance, but the business structure works better. I mean, it's not a bit, but you know what I mean? Comparatively, that's what it looks like. It's we are business and we will do that, but it's but the way we're doing things is looking at all the data and trying to find right matches and working with people and making sure that they're not jumping into things and you're kind of managing these relationships. And what Eli's set up is spur of the moment, romance and whimsy. And it's and that could end up badly. So everything's going to start going up for Eli, down for us, but it's going to flip around at the end because exactly this. People are getting caught up in the heat of the moment and then realize it's a bad fucking idea. And the structure and the way we do things is tried, true, tested, and works. You know what I mean? Because we're not just sprinkling fucking glitter on a pile of shit and calling it art. You know what I mean? Indeed, the marriage success rate might rise, but I'm not sure that's always a good thing. What do you mean? Because it's so enchanting, you might let the atmosphere cloud your judgment, causing you to misinterpret your feelings. Exactly. I feel like this route has been setting us up the whole fucking time for everything that's going to happen. Turning around, I stood on my tiptoes and gave Shelby a quick peck on the lips. What are you... Doesn't it feel more thrilling than when we do it at home? Yes, you're right. That's what I'm saying. If matchmaking happens at a place like this, every meeting could feel like a dreamy romance. While the success rate of marriages might increase, well, that's not a success rate, the actual rate might increase. An advisor's job isn't just about the numbers. We've worked tirelessly to ensure couples find happiness, not just in marriage, but even after. I let the memories of my time as a bridal advisor wash over me as I looked at the ocean waves. You might fall in love due to a temporary infatuation, but eventually reality sets in. That's what crushes are. You're like, oh my God, I have a huge crush on this person, like whatever. And then eventually you're like, yeah, it was just a spur of the moment crush because you were bored. You know what I mean? Or you just need a work boyfriend, so you find someone to crush on. You know what I mean? That's why we play Atome games. So you don't have those weird crushes on people in real life that, like, later you're like, why did I have a crush on that person? Okay, weird. You know, you're like, it doesn't matter. They're my love interest in games and they're perfect. And they can also be trash, and then you don't feel bad about having a crush on them. You know what I'm saying? Just this is how we work those things out. So we don't have questionable crushes in real life, but there was a difference between like, oh, or like a celebrity crush. I have a total celebrity crush. Yeah, they're adorable. But you're not going to like leave your husband for them. You know what I mean? Or like be like, no, I'm going to marry them. Even if you are like, I would totally marry them. But you're not like serious. You're not like a creepy, weird stalker. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a passing fancy that, you know, eventually you'll grow out of, or you'll be like, no, they're still adorable. I love this person, but it's not going to like, you know what I mean? But here you'd be like, I'm obsessed with them forever. And then you'd think you fell in love, get married, and then be like, oh God, yeah, no. This kind of trash only works in Atome games, you know? That's why advisors should always be honest with their clients. We shouldn't encourage a fleeting romance that could lead to a breakup. Since I was Cupid, I wished for their happiness not only during their romantic journey, but also after marriage. The kind of matchmaking I aspire to promotes enduring love that persists for decades. For a lifetime, not just decades. Wow. Only decades? Damn. Technically, decades could be like 2 or 80, but still, I would say for a lifetime. I see. You really do love matchmaking. Yes, because I was Cupid. You're right. He acknowledged me with a smile, and we shared another kiss. We enjoyed that romantic kiss by the quiet seashore. Anyone would fall in love in this sort of environment. Even though I wasn't working for Cupid Corps anymore, I found it hard to be wholly supportive of Omar Wedding's approach. I wasn't working for Cupid Corps anymore? I'm guessing she means in the sense of being a bridal advisor, because she is working for Cupid Corps. She's Shelby's assistant, like secretary and whatever. But you know what I mean? I guess she means even though I wasn't working as a bridal advisor for Cupid Corps. But saying you're not working for them is not true. That was really weird. But anyway. So I wondered deeply about what I could do for the sake of Cupid Corps and Lost Yorkers. You know, you should offer marriage counseling now. If you're in a rocky place in your relationship, we can talk to you and try to see if you guys are meant to be together, work out any kind of issues. You could offer counseling things. Because you kind of do that for your current members, right? So, like, when your current members are having a rough patch, you talk to them and you kind of see how things are going. But you could offer it for, like, new members and stuff who are getting married at Omar Wedding over here on Diamor Paradis, and everything is sparkly and beautiful and gorgeous. And then when they get off the island, they realize it was actually just glittery dog shit. And the glitter stayed on the island, and they just took the dog shit home. And they're like, well, crap. Literally. So then you're like, hey, we can fix that for you. You know what I mean? And then you take their dog shit, you throw it away, and then you give them like a little rock. Then it's like, here, now we're going to polish this rock and make it pretty. You know? Because you can't polish a dog turd. So you know what I'm saying. You get that. You get it. I'm not fully braining today right now, okay? But like, you know, we can do this. Anyway. What are you doing? You're like you're like left leg, right leg, and then you just went to stretch and you were like stretched between half of them. You're like face planted on one of my knees. Weird bird. A few days later, I found Raoul in the president's office for an unexpected reason. Oh! Raoul, you can't keep showing up in everybody's route! Sir, I need you to get the fuck out of here! Because, like, we were enjoying Shelby's route, and we already had Lobster Boy to oogle, and now you show up? Although Lobster Boy's kind of a dick. But that's fine. Like, we're still gonna bang him, apparently. I don't know. But that was my guess. But, like, But now Raoul, our precious himbo. Oh, God, he's so stupid. But he's so pretty. Yeah, you know your stuff. In mythology, Cupid is said to be the child of the god of war Ares and Aphrodite. Ares is another name for Mars, and Aphrodite is Venus. Yes, I recall reading that. So when did Cupid first appear in the text? And there are several theories about that. Botticelli said, but he's only smart when he's talking about mythology. You get him on mythology and it is like, he is a goddamn fucking genius. And you're like, what? And then as soon as you turn mythology off, he gets stupid again. And I fucking love it. You gotta love a himbo that literally only has one brain cell. And that brain cell is specifically reserved for the one thing that they're interested in. And then nothing else computes. And the hamster is falling off the wheel in there for the rest of the time. Like, normally I don't like the himbos that much. But like, well, we saw it with Impy, right? You know what I mean? He was like, nah, but like, building a rocket ship to go to the moon and engineering. And like, well, he was good at cooking too. But like, you know what I mean? You're like, you're an idiot otherwise, but like, you're kind of a mechanical fucking genius. He was the cooking genius too. So you were like, when you're like, so he had at least 2 brain cells. Okay. I'll give you have 1 brain cell that powers everything in your body. So it's too busy keeping you alive to do much else. And then you have your other brain cell that's your intelligence level. And like, Impy had 3 brain cells. So good for him. But you know what I mean? Raoul's got literally only 2. The one that's keeping him alive, that can barely handle processing anything else, which is basically everything. And then his mythology brain cell. And when you fucking power that one on, it's like, holy fucking shit, you're actually really fucking smart. But the second that one powers down for a break, he's back to being the dumbest fucking thing. And goddamn if I don't love it. Listen, he was the first himbo I really fell in love with, and I'm just never gonna stop. I love this big dumb idiot. Ugh. Teacher, long time no see. Good evening, Raoul. What brings you here? Shelby's learning about Cupid. Shelby called me up saying he wanted to learn about mythologies. Shelby did? Yes. I merely requested some reference material to learn about mythologies, but he decided to give me a lecture. I was thrilled Shelby took an interest in mythology, so I brought plenty of reference materials. I was working nearby in 7th Avenue, so the timing was perfect. That's why I'm here. Oh, really? Okay, Alright, he's got 3 brain cells. Acting could be one of them. Because he's got to remember lines and shit, so okay. Alright. You know what? I'd like to revise my whole entire thing about himbos. They really do only have 2 brain cells. There's the one that does everything. So, life, breathing, that kind of shit. That's the one that they're normally functioning with. And then they have a second brain cell that is basically where their, hobbies lie. So for Raoul, it'd be acting and mythology. Because, obviously, he has to be able to remember lines and things like that when he's acting. And he's an action star, so he's obviously good at it. It's not like, oh, I get up there and I don't know my line. You know what I mean? Like, he's obviously good at remembering lines and shit, so that takes brain power. You know what I mean? So, it's mythology and acting, and that's the shared brain cell. So when he's on mythology, he's on the ball. And then it, will flip to, he can't do both. He can't be doing acting and mythology shit at the same time. That brain cell only has enough power to focus and make him a goddamn genius at one or the other at a time. Which is fine. Unless he was acting in a mythological movie, then he could technically, but you get what I'm saying. So, that's his secondary brain cell. Impy's secondary brain cell would be being a genius at cooking and being, engineering genius. So, they have a genius. They do. It's that one extra brain cell. But everything else, math, comprehension of anything, that's just the main brain cell, and it does not compute very well, ever. It's on the fritz. Probably because their genius brain cell is sucking all the energy out most of the time, so they don't have much power going on up there. Speaking of one brain cell, Bird was trying to move from one leg to the other and kind of slipped and almost just face planted on my leg. and was kind of dangling there precariously because he is an idiot and kind of missed hopping from one knee to the other. It's not a very big gap. It's not. It's a tiny spot, and you just almost fell on your face because you're an idiot. Just one brain cell for you. Okay, that one wasn't working today, huh? Anyway, so Shelby went and asked Raoul about mythologies. Shelby must have sought out Raoul to deepen his understanding of mythology, something he previously had shown no interest in. He was making an effort to understand Cupid, Mars, and Venus. That revelation made me exceedingly happy. It's sweet, isn't it? Curious about his learning progress, I decided to test him. Ask him about Jupiter, ask him about Psyche. Like, I don't know which one. I mean, I don't know. Either one would, weren't we? Was Psyche supposed to be us, too? Was that something that, like, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know if that's supposed to be another name for Cupid, but I meant, like, didn't that come up somehow in the Jupiter mythologies, or they just mentioned it in passing, and I don't remember. Do you know about Psyche? Psyche? I'm sorry, I haven't learned about her yet. Oh, that story's in the books I brought today. In short, it's a tale of Cupid and Psyche, a woman so beautiful that even Venus, the goddess of beauty, envied her. Cupid, disguised as a mortal, would visit Psyche only in her bedroom, and they fell in love. And Cupid and Psyche were in love? Shelby turned to me with a nervous expression, probably picturing me with Psyche. No, I know nothing about Psyche. Most of the theories related to Cupid are fictional. Besides, in this story, Cupid's portrayed as a young man. That's true. So you're certain it's not a fact that they were in love? Yeah, this is my first time in the human realm. You're the only one I've ever fallen in love with, Shelby. Don't worry. I'm the only one. I see. That's reassuring and embarrassing. Sweet. Oh. What are you two whispering about? Is it about how Psyche loved Cupid so much she even ventured into the underworld? The underworld? So there's not just Celestia, but an underworld too? Shelby looked completely confused. Absolutely. Celestia and the underworld are two sides of the same coin. Oh, I'd love to discuss more, but it's time for my filming. Here, these books should help you. Let's chat again soon. Feel free to ask me anything. Thank you, Raoul. This has been quite informative. It's okay, because I had a lot of fun. Bye. I love him so much. After leaving a mountain of books on the table, Raoul left. Shelby cleared his throat and moved the pile of books to a corner of the room a little awkwardly. Well, let's get down to discussing employee benefits. Of course. There's no need for him to hide it. Watching Shelby stash away the mythology books reminded me of his past purchases, like virility supplements and a soft-shell turtle. Oh, why do we gotta keep bringing up the fucking turtle and making me sad? Typical of his reserved nature, he didn't like to show when he was trying hard to excel at something. Yet knowing that he's engaging in research makes me happy. As those thoughts went through my mind, Shelby picked up a document from a stack of papers. Have a look at this first. I considered your feedback and revised the benefits package. Let's see. The document Shelby had prepared was thorough and well-structured. The company's committed to improving the work-life balance and overall quality of life for employees. Yeah, every company says that. But saying it and doing it's completely different, I'm just saying. Everything from salaries to work hours, facility benefits, and even rent payment assistance is mentioned here. I want my fucking job to pay rent payment assistance! One of the best parts is access to the gym on 7th Avenue. Really? Yeah, a lot of my coworkers go, but many of them have issues with the distance and equipment. This perk would address those problems. My office has a gym in it, but you have to pay to join it. It's not even like it's free. So, what the fuck? But this part about changing the employee cafe's menu daily isn't necessary. Is that so? Yeah, everyone's satisfied with the current menu. Some people even have routines built around it. You could have a rotating thing where like, oh, this week we're having a special. Like you would have a special. You know what I mean? Like our cafeteria, not that I've been there forever, does have different food every day. It doesn't have the same menu. You know, there's the general stuff you can get the same every single day, and you can order the same things from the grill, whatever, but they will have different, like, kind of like, this is the hot meal of the day type of a thing where it's there. You know, the salad bar is always there. And then they have, like, a specialty kind of counter where, like, I think it's Mondays, it used to be. I don't know if they changed that because most people don't go in the office Mondays and Fridays. But it used to be sushi, and they'd have, like, sushi chefs come in and make sushi and everything like that for you, type of a thing. And they would have certain specials, you know, and for the week in advance, you could look at the menu and see what was coming up for the week, so you knew. You know what I mean? But like, you had the same. It wasn't everything different. Like you had the same quintessential things, but they'd have like certain specials that rotated in. You know. But anyway. I think you should keep this as a base and modify it. Instead of completely overhauling the menu, how about offering more choices? Choices? Yeah, for instance, some people may not want salads, while others might want only salads. You could accommodate this by... We should consider this segment on work hours. It's promising, but... That was how our conversation flowed as we deliberated over the company's benefits. Hey, do you want me to pet you or you want to bite me? You're being a jerk. Of course, it was only a draft. The intent was to have further discussions and gather feedback before finalizing the document. You're becoming very needy and annoying lately. You're becoming needy and butt-facey. What are you doing? Boop in your snoot. By the time we managed to reach a consensus, night had already enveloped the day. Ow! You're a big fat jerk! You're coming down here like you want patties and then you bite me. That's not nice. That is not nice, mister. No, I'm not gonna pet you. And then you look at me with that cute face and I want to pet you, but you're the big fat asshole. Ugh. Phew, we finally done it. Come here. I'm gonna throw you away. I'm taking you to you're going to the corner. No, it's just because you're getting fidgety and it's been like 30 minutes, so I don't trust you. I don't trust it when you're bouncing around all over my knees that you don't. Plus, I just found a hairball on the floor. It's gonna fucking messed up. Come here. Go potties. I'm not throwing you downstairs. I know I said I was gonna throw you away, but that's not what I'm gonna do. Stop that. Good boy. Thank you. I was just giving you a break. I was giving you potty break because I love you. Even if you're a big fat jerk face. Like, good lord. Oh. Besides, you're allowed to leave whenever you want if you don't want to sit here and behave. But I will take you and I will throw you over the banister, which does absolutely nothing because you know how to get upstairs and you'll just fly back up here. Also, if I took him and just chucked him over the banister, he would just whee, boomerang right back. Trust me, I've tried chucking him. Not over the banister, but like sometimes you're like, okay, Bert, I need you to just, and you try to like shoo him away and he just whee, turns around and comes right back. Yeah, you're like a fucking boomerang. I mean, if you want a Velcro animal, birds are definitely them. This one is, anyway. Phew, we've finally done it. We've finally done it, Mr. Neelix. At the sight of me standing up and stretching, Shelby let out a sigh. It's insightful. I realize now how crucial it is to hear from the ground level. The perceptions can be so different without that perspective. It's important to listen to the peons. We can't just rely on theory. We need policies that suit the business's real-world conditions. Like real work-life balance or like, you know, actual pay for inflation and, you know, here's an extra $20 a month. Oh, that's covering jack shit every year, thanks. I was about to implement things based on my own satisfaction. You saved me from that mistake. Thank you. He's like, I'm happy with my pay, so I don't need to. I'm going to implement myself $1 million a year, but everybody else, we can take $1 million and divide it about the billions of employees I have. Yay, everybody gets a whole $100 a year increase. Woo! That's literally how fucking companies work, and it's like, you don't understand, like, anything, do ya? Like... That's good to hear. It hasn't been long since I worked at the ground level myself. It's surprising how much my perspective has changed. Yeah, because now you're married to a rich man, so you don't need to worry about your paycheck, do you? With these benefits in place, it's tempting to return to an advisor role. I think this'll be fine. Okay. And do you really want to go back to the ground level? Well, I enjoy considering the company as a whole, but I must admit, I miss interacting directly with our customers. I'm adjusting myself, and because you keep trying to pull down the collar of my shirt so you can dig your nails into my chest, and I hate it, so stop that. I see. So I could arrange for you to go back if that's what you want. Hold on. I do miss the ground level, but could you just give me some time to decide whether I really want to return? I thought that was what you wanted. Well, it's a tough decision because I like both. Really? Yeah, the work I'm doing now is valuable, and I enjoy being by your side, Shelby, especially when you overwork yourself and don't come home. This is the only time I get to see you. I probably shouldn't have said I wanted to go back to working on the ground level. The truth is, I like both. Split time? Part-time? So, can we keep things as they are for the time being? Spacey... Of course. If you ever decide you want to return to the ground, let me know. It hurts more when you're not honest about what you want. Absolutely. I'll consult with you immediately. I nodded, and the atmosphere seemed to lighten. I'm sorry for before. No need, Shelby. I appreciate you listening to me. Of course. Shelby stood and extended his arms toward me. I moved into his embrace. I love you, Shelby. I love you too. He wrapped his arms around my back and patted me affectionately. Moments later, he lifted my chin and our lips met in a kiss. Oh. And soon it deepened. Oh my God, are we going to sweep everything off his desk and bone right here? Although there's a couch right there. I'm not moaning. Shelby? Feeling anxious, I pushed against his chest, but he pulled me close once more. Oh, hell yeah, we're doing it in the office! Look at this CG! He's like trying to pull his tie off. Oh, hell yeah. Before I knew it, I was being lifted and placed onto his desk. Oh, I mean, I was joking earlier, like, in this whole series, a couple parts ago, whenever about, like, we could just have sex on the desk, and then saying it now. I didn't think we were actually going to get frisky on the desk, but I am into this! Hell yes! Somebody lock the elevator. Huh? Spacey... I thought he was sitting me on his desk, but then he placed his hands on either side of me, blocking any escape. I tried to slide off, but he silenced my protest with a kiss. Shelby... I tried to ask him to slow down, but his onslaught of passionate kisses left me breathless. I reached for support, my arms encircling his neck, that only seemed to draw him closer, his embrace tightening around me. Shelby was leaning over me from above, his wild kisses never ceasing. I've totally lost self-control lately. Loosening his tie with one hand, the sound of the sliding fabric set my heart racing. Wait, Shelby, right here? Everyone on every floor should have left by now. The clock did confirm it was past midnight, but still, I wasn't convinced it was a good idea. And then someone comes in, and then we get the voyeurism in this route, but, like, in the normal part of it and not an ending. Owen's like, do you want me to come back later? I was bringing other documents. Can we continue this at home? Shh. Let it happen. I want him to do what's on his desk. You were the one who taught me... Taught you what? About the kiss at the Cape of Diamor Paradis. I recalled making that comment in jest, how the location made my heart pound more than when we kissed at home. Well, sure, the setting was significant, but I never thought he'd take it so seriously. Shh, let it happen. That may be true. Oh, that may be true, but before I could raise my concerns about someone showing up, my words were cut off by Shelby's playful laughter and a touch on my lips. I'll just lock the elevator. Shelby slid his finger over his keyboard and remotely put a lock on the elevator. His quick action guaranteed no interruptions. Left without any further objections, I watched as a playful smile lit up Shelby's face. Hey, I'm into this. This is kinky and good. Like, okay. Now we shouldn't have any problems. Shelby! Spacey, I love you. Shelby's smile was sweeter than I'd ever seen during our work hours. He leaned in to kiss my neck. Now, every time you think of that desk, you're going to think of your ass on it. Which might be a good thing. Tickled by his breath's touch, I attempted to pull my shoulders away, but Shelby held me with both arms, exploring my neck with his tongue. Perhaps the soft-shelled turtle's influence was stronger than we thought. Was there more to it than just enhancing his capabilities? Shelby was diligent and always thorough, which led me to believe he had likely taken precautions against any adverse effects. He's diligent and thorough. I'm not complaining about that, because he's going to be diligent and thorough right now, isn't he? His impatience was probably a side effect. I'm not moaning for him. His kiss was slightly more forceful than it had been during our honeymoon. His lips moved lower. It was hard to imagine Shelby, the office workaholic, behaving like this. Especially not in the office. But there's the window there. People can see. Then let them see. I'm a devoted husband, after all. See, even he's into voyeurism. Everybody, damn. Embracing on his work desk, we were engaging in anything but work. The elevator doors might have been locked, but there was still the window. The thrill of possibly being seen ignited an even greater passion. Well, she's into it! She acted really hesitant, and Ryuki's like, I don't know about some, and now she's like, people could watch us from the windows. I mean, only if they're in the upper floors. We knew we shouldn't, but we couldn't stop ourselves. We were lost in the thrill, intoxicated like a newly dating couple, and the chances of you running into the people across in the building that watch you, if somebody's in their office at midnight, you know what I mean? And then they're looking and they're like, well, hell! They're going to notice you, girl with pink hair. You know what I mean? And then they're going to be like, that's the girl. It's the girl that was getting railed on that dude's that's the guy. They were banging each other in that office. Yeah, but you know what? They're not going to say anything to you directly, so it's fine. You know what I mean? Hurricane Catherine. Isn't Catherine the name our mother that Venus uses when she's pretending to be a human? The following morning... We didn't leave the office until 2 a.m. Exhausted, we returned to our 8th Avenue home for the first time in what felt like forever. I'm sleepy. The alarm blared at 5 a.m. Shelby was always cramming too much into his schedule, so we had an early morning meeting. Who the fuck wants to meet with this man at like 6 a.m.? Unless they're like in a different time zone and it's like 8 a.m. for them. He was dressed and ready in the blink of an eye. Because that's true, Lost York could be like... not New York, where it's on the East Coast. It could be on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Based on where, when you look at the map, D'Amore Paradis is, and Raoul being an actor, it's probably more like Los Angeles. It's probably more like California on the West Coast of whatever fucking continent we live on. Even though we went to Japan. But, like, we don't say that we live in the United States, but we live in... You know what I mean? Like, all the cities are made up. But, like... Yeah. And we went to Crunch Canyon, which we think would probably be, like, Arizona. So... Yeah, we're on the West Coast, so I get, yeah, you're having a 6 o'clock meeting. That's like 9 a.m. for the East Coast people, so you're like, cool for us, so. Because, like, otherwise, fuck you making me get on a 6 a.m. call. Asshole. Like, And anyway, I'm assuming it's a call meeting and not like an actual in-person meeting, because otherwise those people are pissed. Anyway, he was dressed and ready in the blink of an eye. Sorry, did I wake you? Your fucking alarm did, you bastard! Yawn. Oh, fuck. I said the word. I'm fine. I'll head to the office, too. No, you can go back to sleep. I've put too much strain on you already. Yeah, you did. I've already filled the coffee maker with your favorite Grey Mountain beans. Enjoy them when you wake up. That's sweet of you. But what about your meeting? I'll be fine on my own. I'll take care of the work. And just take the morning off. He kissed me on the forehead and left the bed. After a few more minutes of getting ready, he was out the door. This is the benefit of banging the CEO of the company, because, like, then he's like, take the morning off, because I worked you really hard over that desk last night, huh? And then, like, he leaves you after only 3 hours of sleep. Ugh, I better get up, too. I was incredibly sleepy. After last night's activities with Shelby, getting up wasn't exactly easy. Also, you only got 3 hours of sleep. Despite our late night, Shelby was his usual energetic self this morning. He told me to take the morning off, so maybe I should. I'll have some of that coffee Shelby prepared for me, and half asleep, I reset the alarm before burying my face back into my fluffy, high-quality pillow. It was enveloped in Shelby's scent, which coaxed me back into a world of dreams. Ugh, she was too adorable. As I walked to work, I found myself grinning at the thought of how cute my wife was. I ground up those coffee beans hoping the aroma would calm me down, but no luck. Her sleepy smile was too charming. She was irresistible the night before, and her sleepy expressions in the morning made me want to abandon all my work just to be with her. But of course I maintained my iron will for self-control. I don't know if that existed last night. That issue with Diamor Paradis is still unresolved, after all. We'd managed to stem the poaching of our employees, but their superior service remained a threat. If we didn't tackle the problem head-on, they'd keep trying to steal our staff. And that's why I need to work, and work some more until this issue is resolved. I must only think about work. Well, maybe getting your rocks off every once in a while is good for you. And yet the moment my focus wavered, my thoughts always returned to her. And the happiness of being married to her constantly filled my mind. Each day with her deepened my love. It was a feeling I'd never experienced before. Like, you might be a workaholic, but you are still sweet and adorable and, love us to death, so that's kind of great. Eli Omar did make a fair point during our last conversation. He'd proposed that if I gave up my company, I'd have more time with my wife and considerable financial security. He was a skilled negotiator. However, after assessing the company's structure and discussing it with Spacey, I don't know who he's discussing. Who's this Lynette bitch everybody keeps talking to? God damn, this game is really bad at coding that to, pull in your name. They did that. They did not do a good job with that, because this is now, the fourth time, possibly more. I know it happened at least twice in Ryuki's. This is the second time in Shelby's. I don't remember if it happened in Maronice's, but, that's a lot. If this is not it happens once every... Happening multiple times in every route is bad. That's bad QA. But at the same time, they're probably reading the game, but someone should have checked the code and went through and looking for any instance where it was supposed to if you put your own name in. You know what I mean? This is, most games it happens once here or there. Sometimes it never happens, but this is sloppy. So I'm just gonna have to say it's a little sloppy. And we'd begun implementing changes. And I also needed to research Cupid in my spare time. Spacey said she used to be Cupid. It's unthinkable that she would lie. But you met my parents, who kind of confirmed everything, so, I wanted to believe her, which was why I was intent on researching the matter. Maybe this is why this is Hurricane Catherine, because our mother called herself Catherine, right? In the human realm instead of Venus, because that seems kind of your parents named you Venus, huh? Because Minerva's never pretended to be anybody else. I think it was only our mother who pretended to be Catherine. Anyway, or was it? No, I'm pretty sure it was anyway, so now he's talking about researching Cupid, and that's she's going to show up and whatever. You get it. Anyway. There's no time to be thinking about this. And checking my watch, I quickened my pace toward the office. As I arrived, my mind was inevitably pulled back to the previous night's events. Yeah, papers all rumpled. The memory made it twice as hard to concentrate on work. Well, that's what I was saying is a good thing. It's now he's just going to remember my ass on this desk. Welcome back, Shelby. Yes, I'm back. That day, we managed to leave work earlier than usual and planned to meet at our First Avenue home. We promised on the way home to make dinner together. I finished preparing for dinner, so can you go get changed? Sure. Shelby replied with a timid smile as he retreated to the bedroom. I noticed he was carrying a few mythology books. Is he getting a lecture from Raoul again? Is that why he told me to go home first today? Recently, Shelby had been receiving mythology lessons from Raoul whenever he found time. He'd also started asking me various questions about Cupid. About my former life as a deity and what happened since I arrived in the human realm. That's kind of adorable, though. I told him to learn the general background. He seemed slightly annoyed, but quickly conceded that it was necessary. I didn't expect him to ask me so many questions. We'd argued a lot when I first revealed my past to him. Perhaps that confrontation led him to work through his incompatible views. Even in such a short amount of time, he'd been doing his best to spend time together and understand my perspective. Since we both held certain non-negotiable values, we worked hard to understand each other better. Our busy lives sometimes threw our routines off balance, but we were finally finding time for one another. That's why I was putting extra effort into making tonight's dinner. As I set the table, Shelby returned to the living room, now dressed in more comfortable attire. That looks amazing. It all smells so good. More comfortable attire. Which is still a blazer. I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be his casual clothes and, like, that's the Sprite they use when he's out and about and whatever. But I kind of feel like you could have done a version of the Sprite with, like, it's just the shirt and without the blazer. Because, like, I can't imagine coming home from work in my formal business suit, right? And then changing into a blazer. But then again, I also think people are strange when they, like, come home and they change into jeans and then lounge around the house. What is wrong with you? Jeans aren't comfortable. I come home and I throw on lounge pants that look like pajamas. They're not my pajamas because then my pajamas would be all over my house and then I get in bed and that's weird. So, like, but they could be. You know what I mean? And the fact that I work from home means I don't ever wear my nice clothes out. So, don't know why I have so many, but refuse to not buy fun clothes when I find them. Anyway. And cabbage rolls, beef stroganoff. These must have taken a long time to make. What's this? His gaze settled on another dish. Don't say soft-shelled turtle. It's Thai stir-fry, chocolate mint donuts. It's funny because... Wait. Oh, it's like, I saw the do you like sweet, darling on top, and then I was like, does it tell you? Wait, has it been telling? Oh my god, somebody probably pointed this out. Is it telling you along the top if it's the spicy sweet option? Because the sweet would match up with donuts and spicy with the Thai stir fry. But I never fucking noticed. Does it always say that along? Now, I've never noticed the top bar saying, do you like sweet, darling? And then the one, do you like spicy? Like, I never noticed that. Because they change. It's not always sweet on the right, spicy on the left. But I've never noticed if that lines up with the options telling you which one is which. So that you could go back through and get all the spicy choice. I never fucking... I'm gonna guess then we probably choose the spicy option. Because we got a sweet one last time and we're trying to balance it. But, oh my god. Yeah, Thai stir fry. And if this is the spicy one, then I have to remember the next time we have a choice to look. I have been playing this whole entire game, not even realizing that that was there. Somebody pointed it out, I guarantee you. Not so far, because I think so far the only thing that's posted is Maranise's route for you guys. Because like I said, I'm trying to get ahead a little bit, and then I'm going to get behind because of time off in September. But, yeah. But somebody will point it out when we get to Ryuki's route, and just realize I figured it out stupidly this many hours, halfway through, not even halfway, but like still, feels like halfway through the fucking game. Okay, genius. Fucking genius. I made this based on what I saw at the night market street food at Diamor Paradis. I know things are complicated because of Eli Omar, but I want us to remember that island fondly. That's why I tried to recreate it at home. I did it from memory, so I can't guarantee it'll taste as good. I see. I want to cherish those memories too. I've never forgotten them, not for a moment. And that's why I'll do my best to ensure we can experience moments like that again. It might not be right away. Yeah, okay. It's been telling me, oh my god, I feel so fucking stupid about the. See, my brain cell is not working when I'm playing this. I'm not paying attention. I appreciate you helping me remember through your cooking. It's like the spice of life to help keep me going. I'm glad you like it. Now let's eat before it goes cold. Yes, thank you. Let's eat. Yes, let's eat. As we began our meal, Shelby grinned. Yeah, this is delicious. Shelby smiled happily as he scarfed down dinner. It had been a long time since we were able to share a meal so casually. Food sure tastes better when we eat together. You're right. It does taste good. It feels like it's been a while since we ate together like this. It definitely has. You've only been having your jelly drinks lately. Right. It's a habit that I got into. Shelby, I worry about you skipping meals when you're busy with work, but I'm glad you're eating today. I'm sorry for putting all that strain on you. No, Shelby, I know how much you care about me and the company. Don't worry about it. Spacey, I'm such a lucky man. His sincerity brought out a laugh from me. You're so dramatic. I'm not exaggerating. I truly mean it. And that's why I want to make you happy. So please, wait just a little longer. Sure. He was currently trying to deal with Omar wedding at Diamor Paradis. We'd brainstormed countermeasures together, but Shelby was clearly preparing for a bigger battle. He just asked me to trust him, and that was what I intended to do. I believed in Shelby, so I knew things wouldn't turn out for the worse. We were a little under time, but I'm going to stop here because I don't have too much more time I can record at the moment. And I don't know, this could be like a 2-minute thing, it could be a 20-minute thing, but I also just feel really stupid that we just realized that it tells you if it's sweet or spicy. Again, unless it always has them right there, but I'm assuming that if then the sweet is on the left, then it's left aligned, and then the spicy would be right aligned on the bottom. You know what I mean? That the sweet banner's always at the top, and the spicy's always at the bottom, and it just aligns depending on which one's where, and I never fucking noticed those there at all, because I'm too busy looking at the... Oh my god. Raoul's clearly rubbing off on me, and I'm getting stupid. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.